Texas Style Wrestling is presented by Vato Blanco. Ban the Blam with Cinco Salsa by Vato Blanco. The good stuff naturally. By Texas Select. Visit tsbevco.com. Get home safe. By Eddie Deans, setting the stage for great customer experiences. And by Back 9 Bar and Grill, where your TSW friends are. Welcome to Texas Style Wrestling Primetime Showcase, bringing you our best matches from the month of May. Don't forget that you can see every episode of Texas Style Wrestling for free exclusively at tswplus.com or by downloading the free TSW Plus app for Apple or Android. Starting off our program, we have Bougie Reality, the team of Madi, Wrenkowski, and Rache Chanel, taking on the King Bees, the team of Charity King and Danni B.
Welcome, the team of Charity King and Danni B, the King Bees.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me here in the TSW Plus Studios. Ryan Mooney calling the action. We have the King Bees making their way to the ring. Danni B and Charity King both making their debuts here in Texas Style Wrestling. Should have a fantastic matchup. The fantastic lineup of action here tonight. We, of course, will have later in the program Ivan Warsaw taking on Bam Bam Malone. After that brutal attack backstage last week from Ivan Warsaw, the health is seriously in question for Bam Bam Malone. We're going to see how that plays out here later tonight.
And their opponents.
But right now we have Bougie Reality making their way back into the TSW Plus Studios.
Please welcome the team of Miss Reality, Madi Wrenkowski, and the fashionista, Rache Chanel. They are Bougie Reality.
Rache Chanel, Madi Wrenkowski here in the TSW Plus Studios have proven themselves to be quite a talented tag team. Of course, both of these women fantastic in-ring competitors, and both have been working so well together as a tandem. Madi Wrenkowski has a lot of family, a lot of fans in the building tonight. This is somewhat of a homecoming for her. And Madi is somebody that always just gets such a great response from the crowd. Almost more so than anybody else on the card. You can tell that these fans show up for her. They make a lot of noise and they really get behind her. With this team of Charity King and Danni B, if you can hear me over the very loud Madi chants, this team of Charity King and Danni B, two established veterans. You see the size advantage that Charity King has. And just the all-around great wrestling technique from Danni B. It should be a great contest to start off this week's episode of Texas Style Wrestling. We are set to get underway here in the TSW Plus Studios. Thank you for joining us wherever you are watching this, either at tswplus.com or on the TSW Plus app for Apple or Android. Be sure to check out that app for more exclusive wrestling content. Rache Chanel and Danni B starting this match off. Danni B retreating to her corner, not wanting any part of Rache Chanel. Looking to get a quick pep talk from Charity King. Charity King, that is. This crowd letting them have it. Big kick to the midsection from Danni B. She's wanting to get her footing early in this match. I think that they know exactly how dominant Bougie Reality has been in their past matches. This is going to be a very tall task for them if they want to get a victory here in the TSW Plus Studios. I mentioned the main event later tonight, Ivan Warsaw and Bam Bam Malone. We saw the attack from Ivan Warsaw backstage last week. It's been reported that Bam Bam may be suffering some sort of shoulder injury as a result of that attack. Again, we're going to have to keep an eye on that. Another odd thing that we witnessed last week was the match where Midnight Special lost to Mark Valiant. Afterwards, meeting with Ileana, so we see a good sweep from Rache Chanel. 1 count on the cover. Big arm drag takedown. Rache Chanel looking in control right now. Midnight Special meeting with Ileana backstage after his match, saying he's looking to turn a new leaf, that perhaps he's had things all wrong in his run so far in Texas Style Wrestling, as Madi Wrenkowski tags himself into the match. Throws Danni B over into the corner. Danni B looking stunned. These two going to work together. Rache getting thrown over in the corner. Here comes Madi. Oh, big face plant from Madi Wrenkowski. Danni B's in trouble. Here comes Rache Chanel off the ropes. A big running knee. Takes out Danni B. Madi with the cover, just a 2 count. It's a devastating running knee from Rache Chanel. We see that as being one of her main offensive maneuvers that she uses. We see a jawbreaker from Danni B. Rache tags herself back in. We're going to see Charity King come into this match. As I mentioned earlier, the size advantage that Charity King has. You can see her physique. She dominates and overpowers her opponents as she steps into the ring with. Rache Chanel saying, anything you can do, I can do better. We'll see if Rache has what it takes to overpower Charity King. Definitely going to be quite a challenge. We see shot off the ropes and like running into a brick wall. You see Rache just bouncing off of Charity King. Well, again, as I mentioned earlier, Midnight Special saying that he wanted to turn over a new leaf, wanted to be more like Bam Bam, saying that he had Bam Bam's back. Not sure exactly, such an odd turn of events that we're seeing from Midnight Special, so out of character for him. And we saw after the attack from Bam Bam, lo and behold, one of the only people in the back there to stick up for Bam Bam was indeed Midnight Special. So you have to wonder, as we see a crossbody from Rache Chanel, Madi tagging herself in. Some tandem offense here from Bougie Reality. Here we go, Charity King fighting back. As Midnight Special turned over a new leaf, we will find out, I guess in the coming weeks, exactly what all he meant by that. We see an impressive display of athleticism. We're going for a double vertical suplex. Madi was able to roll out of it. And Charity King spilling to the outside. Almost hitting our cameraman. There we go. Danni B faceplanting over into the ropes. Madi calling for the bag. Rache Chanel grabs the bag. She's bringing it over to Madi. What's in the bag? We're about to find out here at the TSW Plus studio. She brings out a comb. And they're going to work on Danni B as Charity King is fighting with our referee, Sky Mack. You see, this has just got to be embarrassing for Danni B. Oh, another running knee from Rache Chanel. Goes for the cover, 1-2, and 2 count. Bougie Reality, Madi Wrenkowski, Rache Chanel. These two women love having fun. Oh, big chop across the chest of Danni B, and another one. As you see, you hear the deafening chant. Oh my goodness. What a chop from Madi Wrenkowski. You can hear it over the deafening chants of Madi here in the TSW Plus studios. Rache Chanel comes into the match. Some kicks to the midsection. Another chop. My goodness. Wearing down Danni B. Madi Wrenkowski comes back into the match. We'll see what these two ladies have in store for Danni B. Irish whip. Rache drags Danni B down with Charity King. Has Madi over on the outside, goes for a big vertical suplex. On the outside of the ring, on the floor, Rache Chanel spills out to the outside. Who's the legal woman here? 2 count. The tides have turned here in this matchup, here in our opening contest of Texas Style Wrestling. Rache looks like she's hurt over on the outside of the ring, giving Charity King and Danni B a 2-1 advantage. Madi's looking out on her feet. What is going on here? Throws her back into the corner. They are going to work. You see those vicious stops from Charity King. Danni B coming in. The aggressiveness that we're seeing here from these 2 women. Madi Wrenkowski is in serious trouble right now. Rache Chanel needs to get to her feet. But how effective is she going to be if she can't get back in this match? A hip attack from Danni B. You can hear that all the way from here. A very vicious hip attack. Charity King coming back in. Fisherman suplex right in the middle of the ring. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. A kick out from Madi Wrenkowski. This crowd trying to get behind Madi. So we see an instant replay of that hip attack in the corner. Madi desperately needs to make a tag here. She gets slingshotted into the corner, and now Danni B going to work, taking some extra liberties. Sky Mac luckily able to jump in and break that up. Here we go, Madi putting together some sort of comeback here. Some elbows across the chest. Desperately trying to get to her corner. Danni B pulls out Rache Chanel's legs from under her. Whatever offense that Bougie Reality was looking to put together just got shut down by Charity King and Danni B. Here's a cover. Just a 2 count. What an amazing matchup we're seeing so far. Bougie Reality in serious trouble. You see Charity King going to work. This is not where Madi wants to be right now. She's looking to get to her feet. We see some shots to the midsection trying to break the hold. Oh, big strike across the back. Takes Madi right off of her feet. And now, what is this? She kicks Charity King off. Rache Chanel coming into the match. Danni B coming in also. So we see some clotheslines from Rache Chanel. Vicious clotheslines. Danni B getting knocked down, and here we go. Charity King locking up Rache Chanel. Big back elbow. Big running kick. It's thrown to the ground by Charity King. It's a back and forth matchup. Oh! Danni B slamming Rache Chanel to the ground. Madi Wrenkowski finally getting involved. Having to break this up. Throws Danni B to the outside of the ring. Goes right along with her. Charity King looking to end this match. Picks up Rache Chanel, going for the suplex. Rache rolls her up. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Bougie Reality manages to pull the rabbit out of the hat and get the victory here over Danni B and Charity King. But they are not done. Looking to get a little bit of payback here. Danni B throwing Madi Wrenkowski over to the ring apron. Charity King going to work on Rache Chanel. This is bad news for Rache Chanel. You can hear the crowd here in the TSW Plus Studios letting them have it. And this disgusting behavior that we are seeing from Charity King and Danni B as we see Charity King slamming Rache Chanel into the canvas. Rache looks like she is out of it. Now these 2 women standing in the center of the ring lifting each other's arms up. They may have lost the match, but they have completely destroyed the team of Bougie Reality here after the match. My goodness. Just some extracurricular activities, some stomps over to Madi Wrenkowski. Throws her back into the ring. A statement being made here tonight by the King Bees. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll have more Texas Style Wrestling coming at you right after this.
Coming up next, Edgar Garza puts his DPCW heavyweight title on the line as he faces off with Tino Valentino. Texas Style Wrestling returns after this. Texas Style Wrestling TV Tapings are live Saturday, June 24th at the TSW Studios in Addison, Texas. Don't miss your chance to see all the hard-hitting, in-your-face action while getting up close and personal with your favorite TSW stars. Get your tickets now at tswplus.com.
If you want to see some of the best professional wrestling, Texas Style Wrestling, download the TSW app.
Welcome back to Texas Style Wrestling Primetime Showcase. Nigel Rabbit recently recruited the Love Machine, Tino Valentino, to join the Rabbit Empire. And as his new manager, Nigel was able to secure a match against Edgar Garza and a shot at winning the Dog Pound Championship Wrestling heavyweight title.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Texas Style Wrestling. I am Ryan Mooney, taking you along for some main event action for tonight. So we see the Love Machine making his way to the ring alongside Nigel Rabbit of the Rabbit Empire. We've seen Nigel show back up here at Texas Style Wrestling and having some really, really strong recruits. He's picked up his latest recruit, Tino Valentino, and immediately getting a shot at the DPCW heavyweight title. Tino Valentino, of course, fairly brash, fairly arrogant, but has a very, very impressive physique and is a very, very accomplished wrestler in the ring. This should be quite a main event that we're setting up for. There he is, your Dog Pound Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, the Texas Wolverine, Edgar Garza.
This is the last time you see Tino's waist unadorned.
Some jaw jacking from Nigel Rabbit. I'll tell you what, Edgar Garza has really been coming into his own over the past few months, ever since he's won that belt. And he has been a fighting champion, having successfully defended it against Pac Ortega in his last match here in TSW. He is taking on all comers. He will take on anybody that wants to challenge for that belt, but he is going to defend it to the very end.
For one fall, it's for the Dog Pound World Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first the challenger, accompanied by Nigel Rabbit from the depths of your heart. Weighing in at 1 rose petal, the Love Machine, Tino Valentino. And his opponent from McAllen, Texas, weighing in at 205 pounds, he is the Dog Pound World Heavyweight Champion, the Texas Wolverine, Edgar Garza.
Edgar Garza, the Texas Wolverine, Tino Valentino with Nigel Rabbit in his corner for the Dog Pound Championship Wrestling Heavyweight title. In your main event here at Texas Style Wrestling, I want to thank Brittany Hotland for the lovely introductions. She does such a great job as our ring announcer. Sometimes has her work cut out for her, with Ivan Warsaw constantly lurking in the background. You never know what's going to happen here at Texas Style Wrestling. There's the bell We are officially underway in this championship main event. Tino Valentino showing off here early. You cannot take away the excellent physical conditioning of Tino Valentino. Also, the excellent physical conditioning of Edgar Garza. I think we are in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen. Both of these men very powerful, both of these men very agile. And in my opinion, that is what Texas style wrestling is all about, is where raw power meets raw agility. Both of these guys have that in spades. And here we go. Edgar Garza with an advantage early in this contest. And there you see Nigel Rabbit lurking in the corner. It's got to somewhat feel like some sort of handicap match, a 2-on-1 advantage against Edgar Garza. But you know Edgar Garza, he is going to defend that title no matter what. And look at that, a little cartwheel, throwing it back in the face of Tino Valentino. A little personality here shown by Edgar Garza. I love it. As I mentioned earlier, the more title defenses he's had under his belt, the more we've seen him grow in confidence. And you can see that he's looking very confident tonight. But what does Nigel Rabbit have in store? You know that he's not going to come into this match without some sort of a plan. And you know if things get out of control that Nigel Rabbit will get his hands dirty. There we see a big hip toss from Edgar Garza. Did you see the height on that? Big arm drag takedown. Edgar Garza in control early in this contest. You see Tino screaming in agony. Garza wrenches that arm. It's like a little ring of the eye there. Referee didn't call it. Now Tino Valentino in charge. In control. Wrenching that left arm. Edgar Garza forcing a rope break. And look at that, Nigel Rabbit yanking on the leg of Edgar Garza, and Tino Valentino takes advantage of the short distraction. And that's what I'm talking about, that Nigel Rabbit not afraid to get dirty, not afraid to get involved in the match. And in my opinion, the referee has got to keep one eye on Nigel Rabbit at all times. Go snap mare from Tino. A big missile drop kick. Your champion is in trouble. Here's the cover. 1-2. And a kick out. If I'm giving advice to Edgar Garza, I'm saying we need to try to force this match away from wherever Nigel Rabbit is. As I mentioned before, the Texas Wolverine never backing down, never shying away from a challenge. He's got a handful of a challenge here tonight. Tino Valentino getting some good offense in. Wearing down on Edgar Garza. You can hear this crowd's disdain for the Love Machine. Oh, and Garza gets out of the way. Valentino goes head first into that turnbuckle. Here we go. Couple of lefts and rights from Edgar Garza. A big chop across the chest. Goes for another hip toss. You see the athleticism, the hip attack from Tino Valentino. A big backflip. Landing on top, cover. Not enough to put away Edgar Garza, but very, very impressive flurry of offense from Tino Valentino. You see the agility and you see the power. And of course, you see the brashness, you see the arrogance. Digging the elbow into the forehead of Edgar Garza. Nigel Rabbit screaming, twist his head off. This man knows no bounds, can never sink too low, but you got to give it to him. He will do whatever it takes to make sure that his client gets a victory. You can hear Edgar Garza screaming in agony. getting the crowd behind him. Here we go, some back elbows, trying to get Tino off of him. Throws him forward. Tino looking a little bit flustered, blocks the right hand, blocks it again, delivers a right of his own. Edgar Garza getting pumped up, delivers a flurry of rights, a big chop across the chest. Garza whips it to the corner, and just to get out of the way, here we go. Oh, big power slam. Edgar Garza is fired up here in the TSW Plus Studios. This audience can't get enough of it. Let's see what the Texas Wolverine has in mind here. There's Nigel Rabbit on the apron, causing a distraction. I think the ref honestly might consider tossing it at this point. There we go. Oh. Tino Valentino face planting Edgar Garza onto the canvas. Nigel Rabbit pleading for Tino to go to the top rope. Let's see what they've got in mind here. It's spelling disaster for Edgar Garza. And what is this? Lieutenant Dan! Lieutenant Dan, Tino's former manager, coming out. Here comes Edgar Garza, big belly-to-belly suplex off the top rope. Lieutenant Dan taking out Nigel Rabbit, perhaps as some sort of revenge for Tino cutting ties with him just a few weeks ago. Now both these men are down. Nigel Rabbit is down. Absolute chaos here at the TSW Plus Studios. Edgar Garza gets to his feet. Let's see what he got. Back elbow from Tino. Another one misses. Whoa, big 360 spinning slam. Edgar Garza.
And still, top-bound world heavyweight champion, Edgar Garza.
Edgar Garza retains the DPCW heavyweight title, perhaps with a little assistance from Lieutenant Dan. Yet another successful title defense. Garza saying to Lieutenant Dan he doesn't need anyone's help. He will defend this title by himself. But certainly Nigel Rabbit got taken out there, still on the ground. Tino Valentino can't believe what just happened. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Edgar Garza, the Texas Wolverine, still your Dog Pound Championship Wrestling heavyweight champion.
Coming up next, a masked man shows up to the TSW Plus Studios and disrupts a match between Tim Storm and Adam Asher. More Texas Style Wrestling after this.
I'm Jazz, the female fighting phenom. And if you're ready to chase your dreams of becoming a professional wrestler, commentator, or referee, here at the Dog Pound Pro Wrestling Dojo, we teach you everything you need to know about the pro wrestling business. Come join the pack, and let's make that dream a reality.
Welcome back to Texas Style Wrestling Primetime Showcase. Earlier in May, a friendly contest between Adam Asher and Tim Storm would end in a rather unusual fashion.
These two men going back and forth. And what? Wait, what do we have here? What the? A masked assailant has come into the ring, taking out Adam Asher and taking out Tim Storm. Who is this man? A masked man making his way into the ring. There are bodies laying all across, a wake of destruction. Who is this man? What is he doing here at the TSW Plus Studios? has taken out Adam Asher and Tim Storm. These two men getting up, they don't know exactly what happened. Everyone in stunned silence here in the TSW Plus Studios.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just saw it right now. A Matt Classic happening. Let's get them in here right now. Tim Storm, APOC, Adam Asher here. Guys.
Hey. Family show. I don't know what happened. We're having literally a 5-star match. You know, we're a little bit deeper in our age, but that's a hell of a match. The fans were excited. They're cheering, chanting for both of us. And then
that's not how you want a match to end. You know, when you're in there with your best friend and you're a true competition, nothing dirty. We're battling. Did you see who it was?
No. Somebody wearing all black and a black mask.
Here's what I will say. You can't be in the ring with somebody 50 times, feel their fist in your face and not know who it is. Do what you want to do. You might want to keep your nose out of this business because I've known you for a long time, but I've wrestled with this man for over 25 years.
Where one goes, the other follows, and vice versa. You better check yourself. And you might want to get some help if you're going to face this one-on-one, face-to-face, instead of sneaking in like a coward. I've been doing this too long, Tim. Too long.
I love you.
I love you. You are my best friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, chaos ensued. What's going to happen? We can only find out. Stay tuned to TSW.
Coming up next, a clash of the Titans as Kaun takes on the Texas Terminator, Jay Alexander. More Texas Style Wrestling after this. Texas Style Wrestling TV Tapings are live Saturday, June 24th at the TSW Plus Studios in Addison, Texas. Don't miss your chance to see all the hard-hitting, in-your-face action while getting up close and personal with your favorite TSW stars. Get your tickets now at tswplus.com. Welcome back to Texas Style Wrestling. Everyone in the TSW Plus Studios was stunned to see the debut of Kaun in Texas Style Wrestling. And after winning his first match in TSW, he now faced his first real test as he would battle with the Texas Terminator, Jay Alexander.
Being accompanied by Lieutenant Dan from Dallas, Texas, weighing in at 240 pounds, the Texas Terminator, Jay Alexander.
Jay Alexander making his way to the ring, accompanied by Lieutenant Dan. Bam Bam and Warsaw scheduled to be our main event for next week. You got to wonder the implications of what that attack is going to have on that main event.
There's going to be a blood battle tonight.
We will wait and see. We have our main event here tonight. This is going to be, well, if I could borrow a term, this is going to be a good old-fashioned slobber knocker from the Texas Terminator, Jay Alexander. You can see he is such an impressive specimen. You can see his physique, and when you watch his matches, his athleticism, his agility matches his power. He is an intimidating presence.
And his opponent.
Well, I think possibly one of the only men on this roster that can compete physically with Jay Alexander might be this man that's walking out right now. You can see this hushed silence falling over the crowd as they get ready for Kaun to make his entrance.
Being accompanied by Nigel Rabbit, coming in at 230 pounds. He is 1/3 of the Ring of Honor Tag Champions. This is Kaun.
Kaun, accompanied by Nigel Rabbit. You can see he is an impressive specimen. As mentioned by Brittany, he is 1/3 of the Embassy, the Ring of Honor 6-man tag champions. He is here in Texas Style Wrestling. He wants to compete against the best. And he is here in our main event here tonight. This should be a fantastic main event for everyone watching. We want to thank you for your support watching on TSWPlus.com, download the TSW Plus app for Apple or Android. You'll be able to see real professional wrestling from deep in the heart of Texas. Every episode of Texas Style Wrestling for free, streaming exclusively TSWPlus.com on the TSW Plus app. We can see, as mentioned earlier, the bad blood between these two managers, between Nigel Rabbit and Lieutenant Dan, spilling back, a few months ago when Tino Valentino would ditch Lieutenant Dan and be recruited by Nigel Rabbit. And then, of course, Lieutenant Dan getting involved, taking out Nigel in last week's main event. And here they are this week with their grand champions, with Kaun and Jay Alexander. Now, what is this? Looks like they're getting up on the apron. Kaun throwing Lieutenant Dan into the ring. And what a big hand slap from Jay Alexander. You see, Nigel Rabbit did not see that coming. He is laid out on the floor. These two men throwing punches in the ring. Some action going on here in the TSW Plus Studios. Kaun spills to the outside. Jay follows him out there. Oh, big chop. Another one for Jay Alexander. You can hear this crowd chanting for Jay. Oh, man. These are some serious thunderous chops that these two men are dishing out. You can see Jay pulling on the hair of Kaun, giving him another chop.
Let's go, come on. Let's go, Jay.
Rolls into the ring to break the count. These two men are not done. Oh, drives the face of Kaun into the apron. See Nigel Rabbit still laid out from earlier. Oh, big right hand. Oh, Nigel grabbing onto the ankle of Jay Alexander, causing enough of distraction that Kaun able to get some offense, just drives him into the ring post. Jay Alexander wiped out. Now Kaun rolls in to break the count. Nigel Rabbit finally getting to his feet. These two men getting back in the ring. Here we go. Let's see what Kaun has in store. Big backbreaker. Goes for the cover. Just a 2 count. We've been seeing so much action, so much chaos happening over the last few weeks here at TSW.
2, 3, 4.
Only going to continue with this matchup scheduled next week where Ivan Warsaw and Bam Bam Malone. We just saw what happened in the back. What's going to happen there? These two men going at it. Jay get thrown into the corner with such power that he face plants.
How's that feel, Jay, huh?
Can you imagine how powerful you would have to be able to throw someone like Jay Alexander that far, that fast?
What you mean, what?
Kaun still going to work, attacking the lower back. Repeatedly, a big senton across the lower back of Jay Alexander. This is an intense matchup. You can see the intensity from both of these competitors. Going for another cover. Another kick out from Jay Alexander. Drives a knee into the back. Jay Alexander in trouble. In the middle of the ring, needs to try to get some sort of rope break, find some way to escape this hold from Kaun. Lieutenant Dan trying to cheer his man on. Here we go, Jay Alexander getting back up to his feet, attacking the midsection. Now Kaun comes back with a big right elbow. Oh! Big boot to the face from Jay Alexander. He's going to go up. He's going up. Big chop from Kaun. Now what is going on here? Setting up for a big superplex off the top rope. Jay Alexander crashing to the canvas. Kaun rolling around in agony. Both these men are down. Who's going to be able to get up from that devastating superplex? A kick out from Jay Alexander. You watch this replay. My goodness. That is a lot of weight coming down. I gotta be honest with you, I'm surprised he didn't fall flat through the ring. But regardless, we are still going here in our main event. Kaun going over to the corner. Big German suplex from Jay Alexander. I don't know where he's getting this energy from. He's going for a power bomb. Kaun slips out, rolls him up. 1, 2. Kick out from Jay Alexander. Oh, devastating clothesline from Kaun.
You've got this. You've got this. You're the future of wrestling. You're the future.
This has been a back and forth battle between two behemoths. Nigel Rabbit getting Kaun fired up. Kaun waiting for Jay to get to his feet so he can go for the kill. Here he comes off the ropes. Jay getting to his feet. Oh, what do we have here? Spins him around, slams him to the canvas. My goodness. Goes for the pin. Just a 2 count.
Tell me you're all right.
This is an epic battle. I don't know if the ring can survive this. I don't know if the TSW Plus Studios can survive this. What do we got here? Big sit-down powerbomb. Goes for the cover and Kaun kicks out of it. What is Jay Alexander gonna have to do to put away Kaun? What is Kaun gonna have to do to put away Jay Alexander? What else are we gonna see in this matchup? Jay Alexander going up to the top rope. Now Kaun cuts him off. Now Kaun getting up on the middle rope. What's he got in mind? Nigel Rabbit, here he comes. Getting involved. Oh, and he takes the leg out with the cricket bat. Now giving Kaun the advantage. Drops him across the turnbuckles. We've seen him use that move in his last match. Very effective, very devastating move, and now he picks Jay Alexander up. What does he have here? Drives his knees into the midsection. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. Jay Alexander kicks out. What are we witnessing here in the TSW Plus Studios? Jay Alexander getting fired up again. Kaun cuts him off. A pedigree. That's gotta be it. 1, 2, and 3. Kaun finally puts away Jay Alexander with a pedigree. But these two men went to war here in the TSW Plus Studios. What an incredible match that we just witnessed. See Nigel Rabbit holding the head high of Kaun as he leaves victorious. What does this mean for Lieutenant Dan?
Coming up next, things have reached a boiling point between Ivan Warsaw and Bam Bam Malone. And these two would face off in an epic main event. Texas Style Wrestling will return after this.
I'm Jazz, the female fighting phenom. And if you're ready to chase your dreams of becoming a professional wrestler, commentator, or referee, here at the Dog Pound Pro Wrestling Dojo, we teach you everything you need to know about the pro wrestling business. Come join the pack, and let's make that dream a reality.
It's the one and only Soda Pop Super Fly Hendrix, and you're watching Texas Style Wrestling on the TSW Plus app.
TSW now stands for Texas Style Warsaw. And there ain't nobody in the back, there ain't nobody in this building that can stop me from doing what I want to do.
Here comes Bam Bam! Here comes Bam Bam!
This is Texas Style Wrestling. What a disrespect to the company that I love. And I promise you, Brittany, that's not going to fly.
Get out! Get out of my ring right now!
This is not Texas Style Warsaw. This is TSW.
Texas Style Warsaw is not ran after democracy. No crime will go unpunished.
Now, he may be able to bully some of them in the back, but at the end of the day, he's not going to bully them.
Ow! What'd you say about me, block? Hey! Help! Somebody help! Somebody help! I am the hammer! I am the gatekeeper! I am Ivan Warsaw! And I'm in control now.
Introducing first, from the center of the Ozarks, weighing in at 237 pounds, the gatekeeper, Ivan Warsaw!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Texas Style Wrestling. It is main event time. As you see Ivan Warsaw making his way to the ring. This man so dastardly. You know he's got something up his sleeve in store for Bam Bam Malone.
And his opponent.
Bam Bam in the unenviable position to have to take on Ivan Warsaw, especially after being attacked last week backstage.
From Paradise City, weighing in at 220 pounds, Gold Girl and Glory, Bam Malone!
As you see that 10-mile stare from Bam Bam Malone, that is not what we are used to seeing. He's usually coming out fired up. He's coming out, he's going right at Ivan Warsaw. Here we go. We are getting things started here in our main event of Texas Style Wrestling. Warsaw bounces to the outside of the ring. He's running away from Bam Bam. Bam Bam furious after that attack he suffered last week, and he gives a big drop kick to Ivan Warsaw. Whatever the condition of his shoulder might be right now, he's coming out fired up. He's taking it right to Ivan Warsaw. Has him backed in a corner. You see a thumb in the eye from Ivan Warsaw. This man is willing to do whatever it takes to hurt his opponent, whether it be inside the rules or outside. And now here he goes to work on Bam Bam Malone. Oh, going right after that injured shoulder, going right back to it again. You can hear the screams of Bam Bam Malone.
Who's Bam Bam now?
Bam Bam was looking to get things started early, hoping to get some offense in, hopefully maybe catch Ivan Warsaw off guard. But now Ivan Warsaw back in control of this match and going to work on that injured shoulder of Bam Bam Malone. There he is, wrenching it, driving it into the corner. Bam Bam is in serious trouble. And this crowd with a hushed silence. Ivan Warsaw going to work, meticulously picking apart his opponent, driving the knee into the midsection. Puts Bam Bam up on the top rope. Elbows to the head. Bam Bam spills out to the floor. He looks out of it. And what is this? It's a midnight special. Midnight Special coming to the side of the ring. He's wearing a Bam Bam Malone shirt. Trying to cheer on Bam Bam Malone. I tell you, it's been such a crazy last few weeks of Texas style wrestling, but this might be the most bizarre thing I think I've ever seen.
Get him, Warsaw!
Is the typically cocky and arrogant Midnight Special is now on the outside of the ring, seemingly supporting Bam Bam as Ivan Warsaw going to work again on that left shoulder of Bam Bam. What else are we going to see here in the TSW Plus Studios? Warsaw throws Bam Bam back into the ring, goes for the cover, just gets a 2 count. He is like a shark in the water. When he smells a drop of blood, it is all but over. I know the incredible amount of courage, the incredible amount of heart and tenacity that Bam Bam has displayed during his time here at Texas Style Wrestling. But how much can his body take? How much damage can he take? How much punishment can he endure? You see the cover in a 2 count. He's managing to kick out, perhaps on instinct alone. Perhaps just because he does not want to let these fans down here in the TSW Plus Studios. But you can see the agony on his face. You can hear the screams of Bam Bam Malone echoing throughout this building. And if you could pick one man you would not want to be in the ring with under these circumstances, it is that man right there, the gatekeeper, Ivan Warsaw. And he is going to work, twisting that arm, dropping a knee on the shoulder. And as much as this crowd is trying to get behind Bam Bam Malone, it almost seems, well, an exercise in futility at this point. And there we go, Bam Bam manages to throw Warsaw into the corner. His shoulder running into the ring post. Warsaw is down. Bam Bam trying to perhaps take advantage of this short respite. You can tell he is in some serious pain right now. Will he be able to muster the strength to put away Ivan Warsaw? Oh, it's 2 men going back and forth, trading blows in the middle of the ring. Now Bam Bam back up to his feet, blocks the right hand, gives a chop. Another right hand from Bam Bam Malone. Oh, kick to the midsection. Warsaw coming off the rope, spine buster from Bam Bam Malone. He's getting fired up, he's firing up this audience. Comes with a clothesline. Warsaw looks to be in trouble, back elbow. Bam Bam is fired up. Inverted atomic drop from Bam Bam Malone. Tries to go for the leg drop. Warsaw ducks out of the way. Warsaw is hurt. He's clutching his left shoulder, clutching his left leg. Both these men pushing each other to the limit here in the TSW Plus Studios. Now Bam Bam out on the apron. Warsaw goes and grabs him by the hair. Looks like he's gonna go for a suplex, gonna go for something here. Bam Bam trying to fight back. Big shot to the midsection. Bam Bam comes back in the ring. Running leg kick. He's getting fired up. This crowd is getting behind their guy. But you don't want to take your eyes off of Ivan Warsaw for too long. Runs a big body splash over in the corner. Bam Bam shoots off Warsaw. Another splash. Warsaw looks like he's gassed. Oh, and what is this? Bam Bam Malone taking out the referee. Our senior referee, Furman Perez, is down. Now Midnight trying to come to the aid, saying get Warsaw. I will tend to the referee. Bam Bam turns his attention back to what is this? A low blow from Midnight Special. Midnight Special with a low blow. Now a choke slam from Warsaw. Furman Perez regains consciousness. 1, 2, and 3. Midnight Special turned his back on Bam Bam Malone, was just pretending to be his friend, was pretending to be in his corner, and was just looking for the right opportunity to take advantage. And with the low blow, he secured the victory for Ivan Warsaw. An absolute disgrace to this promotion, to the sport of professional wrestling. Midnight Special's antics and actions here tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, I can't say what I really think about that man right there, so I don't want to have to lose my job here at Texas Style Wrestling. But that man is absolutely despicable. And I don't know what his intentions are, I don't know what his motives are, but it just goes to show you that a leopard really can't change their spots.
Thank you for watching Texas Style Wrestling Primetime Showcase. Be sure to follow us on social media to stay up to date on current events, and download the TSW Plus app for more exclusive wrestling content. At your home for real professional wrestling from deep in the heart of Texas, this is Texas Style Wrestling.